Yes, I welcome all. Myself Shavirana from SMPAS Chemistry Department. So I am here to present chemical kinetics. Chemical kinetics is uh, one of the branch of physical chemistry which deals with rate. And kinetics is a word is an ancient Greek word which is obtained from kinesis. Kinesis means movement or to move. Kinetics means how fast does a reaction proceed. It means kinetics is one of the branch of science which helps us to give information about speed of reaction, with what speed the reaction is moving. Also, chemical kinetics sheds light on the reaction mechanism. Here are few of examples of chemical kinetics. First is burning of paper. Burning of paper takes few seconds to burn. Next is rusting of iron. Rusting of iron can take around 3 to 4 months. Next one is digestion of food. Digestion of food by the body takes around 3 to 4 hours to digest the food. All these three are related to speed. Here I have mentioned rusting of iron. It is a very slow reaction. Digestion of food. It is reaction with medium speed. Formation of white PPTs of AgCl is again a fast reaction. So these three are related to speed of reaction. So chemical kinetics is one of the branch that is related to speed. Also, we'll study here certain factors which affects the reaction rates. So reaction rate is the change in concentration of a reactant or a product with time. Time can be in seconds, minutes and hours. So rate of reaction is a term which is given by change in concentration divided by change in time. So as the reaction is proceeding, as we are dealing with a solution and solution is having certain concentration and the concentration is going to change with respect to time, this division formula will give us rate of reaction. Again, we can understand this concept by using this chemical reaction. If A is moving from B, A is moving towards B and A is the reactant and B are the products. So rate of reaction can be given as decrease in concentration of reactants to time taken. Means always we used to have minus sign the change in concentration of reactants to the time given, because as we are proceeding from reactants towards product, the concentration of reactant is going to decrease, and again on the other side we are having positive sign along with the product. Del B upon del T means change in concentration to change in time with respect to product. This we can understand using a graph, as A are taken to be reactants and B are taken as products. So as the reactant is moving from reactants to product, so reactant concentration is going to decrease as well as the product concentration is going to increase with respect to time. Now one important thing here to mention here, HCl is taken as always, it is written in square brackets, as the concentration is to be notated in square brackets only. It is again dependent upon law of mass action. Law of mass action can be taken as rate is directly proportional to concentration of any of two reactants. For example, we are taking X and Y as the reactants. So rate can be given as X proportional to X as well as Y. K is the symbol for the rate constant. K can be different for every reaction. So here I have put some of the questions here. What would happen if we double the concentration of X or Y? If rate is directly proportional to X and Y, now what would happen if we double the concentration of X or Y? If we are going to double the concentration of X, always the rate of reaction would also get doubled. Now next question is, what would happen if we had Y square? For example, you are taking Y as 2. If you are making 2 square 2, then answer will be 4. Now if you are making Y square, then of course doubling the concentration of Y would give us the rate of reaction as quadruple. Here is order of reaction. Now order of reaction is the power raised to the concentration terms is called order, will give us order of reaction. Here I have written rate is equal to k, x raised to power m, y raised to power n. So total order of reaction will be m plus n. So we are going to add the powers written on the top, and this will give us order of reaction. Now next is molecularity of reaction. Molec Molecularity can be taken as 1, 2, 3. So it can be taken as, if the molecule is 1, then it is called unimolecular reaction. If there are 2 molecules, then it can be taken as biomolecular reaction. If there are 3 molecules, then it can be taken as termolecular, means trimolecular reaction. As well as we can have the rates. If for unimolecular reaction, rate can be given as k a raised to power 1. Biomolecular reaction, rate can be given as k a raised to power 2. Trimolecular reaction rate is equal to k a raised to power 3. Now, zero order reaction, there are few orders related to rate of reaction. First is zero order reaction. In zero order reaction, the rate of reaction is independent of concentration of any of reactants. Means it doesn't depend upon the concentration of reactants. Example is the self-catalyzed examples are here. So enzyme catalyzed oxidation of ethanol to acetaldehyde. So I have mentioned here a graph which is showing us the zero order reaction kinetics. Always in zero order reaction kinetics, the graph should be a straight line, should be a line parallel to the concentration axis. Next is first order reaction. As the name is suggesting you, always the order of reaction will be 1. So rate can be given as rate is equal to k x raised to power 1. Here I have also mentioned an example here. 2H2O2 gives us 2H2O plus O2. Here is first order reaction. It means only one of the concentration we are considering as of hydrogen peroxide, that is H2O2. Here I have mentioned again a graph for first order reaction. For first order reaction, graph is always a straight line passing through origin starting from 0. Next is pseudo first order reactions. Pseudo first order reactions are those reactions which appears as to be a second order, but it actually exists as first order. As we have taken an example of CS3 COOCS3 plus H2O. So water taken here as an excess amount, so we can neglect that quantity, that concentration of water here. So whole rate of the reaction will depend upon CS3COOCH3 only. So reaction appears as to be second order, but always the rate of reaction depends upon only the concentration of single term. That's why it is called a pseudo first order reaction kinetics. Next is second order kinetics. As the name again is suggesting you, so order of reaction here is 2. It can be written like, the rate equation can be written like rate R is equal to K A square, R is equal to K A B also. Example of second order kinetics is NO2 plus CO will give us NO plus CO2. Here we are using NO2 and CO. So our rate of reaction will depend upon both of the concentrations of NO as well as CO as a reactant. So we are using two reactants here, NO and CO. So the concentration of reactant is going to depend upon both. That is why it is called as second order reaction kinetics. Next is next is graph for the second order kinetics. It is always be taken as curve which is passing through origin. Now next one is third order reaction kinetics. In third order reaction kinetics, the power should be 3. So rate can be determined as rate is equal to k x raised to power 1 and y raised to power 2. So the overall rate of reaction will be 1 plus 2. It will give us a third order reaction. Now the third order reaction can also be written as termolecular reactions. For example, it can be written like 3A will give us product, 2A plus will give us product, A plus B plus C will give us product. So here the concentration terms are taken as 3. That is why we are calling it as third order reactions. Here I have mentioned few of the problems here. For a reaction, A plus B gives us product, the rate law is given by R is equal to K A 1 by 2 B square. What is the order of this reaction? Now how we can get the order of reaction? We can have the order of reaction as we have to sum up the powers written on the square bracket terms on the concentration terms. You have to add those terms which are written as an powers. So here powers are 1 upon 2 and 2. You have to simply add these powers and you are able to get order of reaction. So order of reaction will be given as 1 by 2 plus 2. The answer is 2.5. So the answer will be 1 by 5 by 2. I am skipping all these problems here. Now next is molecularity of reaction. We have three types of reactions: unimolecular, bimolecular and termolecular. Unimolecular means when a single molecule is taking part in a reaction, it is called unimolecular reaction. Biomolecules, when two molecules are taking part in a reaction, it is called a biomolecular reaction. When three molecules, so it is called as termolecular reactions. I have mentioned few of the differences between order of reaction and molecularity. So order of reaction is the sum of powers of the concentration of reactants, and the molecularity is the sum of reacting molecules. How many molecules are taking part in a reaction? We are going to simply add that molecules terms. So this will give you the molecularity of reaction. Order of reaction can be whole number or a fraction also. Molecularity is always taken as a whole number. Molecularity cannot be taken as in terms of fraction. It is determined experimentally, it is determined theoretically. The order of reaction is applicable to all of the reaction. It is just simply applicable to simple reactions. Now order of reaction may be 0, its value can exist as 0, but in molecularity we cannot take the value as 0. Always it should have a whole number. It cannot be taken as 0. If you are going to have 0 value there, then how you can add the molecules? No, in chemistry, no 0 molecule is existing. So you have to take the whole numbers there. Order of reaction changes with external parameters like temperature, pressure and volume. So molecularity does not changes with external parameters. Now moving on to fast theories of reaction. Here are basically we have mentioned here two of the theories: collision theory and activated complex theory. Collision theory is a simple theory in which the two molecules are going to react. Two molecules are going to collide. In order to collide two of the molecules, you just have to mention two properties here. One is the molecules must have sufficient energies. Another one is molecules must have correct geometry to collide with one another. I'm skipping this. Next is activation energy. It takes part in activation theory. Activation energy is that minimum amount of energy which we need to cross over that energy barrier. Here one girl is standing here and she has to cross that energy barrier to reach to the product side. So activation energy is the minimum amount of energy required for a reaction. Here I have mentioned few of figures here. Here A and A molecules and B molecules. These two molecules are going to collide with one another, and at the center there exists an unstable activated complex in which you are able to see the bonds are still going to make and certain bonds are going to break here. So we'll have new complexes like A to B and A to B. Now the new bonds have formed here and the new molecules appears as AB molecules. There are certain factors on which the rate of reaction depends. First is temperature. So I'm directly moving towards temperature. As you are going to increase the temperature, the molecules present inside this beaker, they are moving towards with one another with a greater speed. So speed of the reaction will get increased. Collisions will be increased by the reaction. So more particles will react towards one another. So there is an increase in rate of reaction. Next one is there is a fundamental thing present in case of temperature. As we are increasing the temperature by 10-degree rise, always the rate of reaction gets doubled. Next is, can you explain why food should be kept in deep freeze compartments in order to ensure its freshness? The answer is very simple. The low temperature slows down the chemical reaction. Always you have to maintain its fruits. You have to maintain the freshness of food. That's why you have to defreeze the fruits in order to slow down the rate of reaction. Next is concentration and pressure. Again, the same fundamental thing is here. Higher concentration or pressure will increase the particles per unit volume. So increase in frequency of collisions, so rate of reaction increases. How the surface area affects the rate of reaction? We are taking here a marble piece, whole marble piece. We are going to dip in a beaker of solution, in a beaker of HCl solution, and on the other side I have taken some marble powder. Of course, when you have make marble powder, the surface area gets increased and you are able to dissolve the marble powder at an easier scale than that of marble piece. So as you are going to increase the surface area, increase in exposure to other reactants, increase in the probability of collisions, so increase in rate of reaction. Next is presence of catalyst. Catalyst is very good in reactions. Catalyst speeds up the reaction. So as you are going to add the catalyst in your reaction, the reaction speeds up, so increase in rate of reaction. Here are few of applications of chemical kinetics. It maintains the temperature. The drug which you are using, the drug you are suggested to store in your refrigerators. So this is very good example in chemical drugs you can take as chemical kinetics. So knowledge of chemical kinetics in pharmaceutics is very important. Next is chemical reaction kinetics also plays a very important role in food decomposition, microorganisms growth, acid base titrations. So in acid base titration, as the pink color appears or the pink color disappears, it takes in fraction of seconds. So it always deals with the speed of reaction. Again, chemical kinetics plays an important role in acid-base titrations. Stratospheric ozone decomposition, again, as the ozone hole is going to increase from 1991 to up to 2020. So the speed of the rate of CFCs, chlorofluorocarbons, due to pollution is going to increase. We have to slow down the rate of production of CFCs. So that's why chemical kinetics again helps us to find out the problems related to ozone depletion layer. That is, chemical kinetics and photochemical data is used in stratospheric modeling. So thank you. Thanks a lot. Learn through my understanding, not through memorization. Thanks.